Okay, hi. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this event, which is Meet and Meditate with the Skull of Love. And I'm very grateful and enthusiastic to be your host for this event, which aims to raise consciousness and heal the earth so it can shift into a higher frequency. And I'm feeling so happy and very privileged to be able to welcome Bill Homan from Indiana, the caretaker of the Mitchell-Hedges Skull. So hello, Bill, and welcome, and thank you so much for being here with us.
Well, thank you so much for the work you do. And it seems like as I travel, there's so many people now that are waking up in their hearts and bringing this new consciousness into the world. And this is the time for it. We can't do it tomorrow. We have to do it now. And you're doing that beautiful job. And so I'm here with the Mitchell-Hedges Skull. I'd like you to meet it, my old friend. And I will I think she has a lot of good questions for me. So I'll sit back and enjoy the show whenever you start, whatever you'd like to start. So.
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, the energy
there's an energy that you should be feeling right wherever you're at. So that's the thing, and we're sharing this love. And if you have your crystal skulls there, your crystal, it picks up the energy big time. And there you go. And yeah, so.
It's absolutely amazing. I could feel his energy with me already from this morning. My vibrations were really high and I was feeling joyful and happy. It's just absolutely amazing. I can feel like my heart center.
Open up, yeah.
Huge.
So
Would you tell us about the moment when Anna Mitchell-Hedges found the skull and the reaction of the Mayan people that were present?
Sure will. What it was is F.A. Mitchell-Hedges was in Central America, and he believed there was a connection between the Mayas and Atlantis, and he was looking for that connection. And he heard about a lost city. It was British Honduras at the time, that there was some, that he wanted to see if he opened that up, if he would be able to find any of those connections. He was really looking for the white city, but he found the city called Lubantun, which was not that far from the white city. But so it took him 4 years working with all the natives. They cut, they chopped, they burned, and brought 7 pyramids, a ball court, a spiritual center, all out of the jungle. Because if you ever saw the ruins when they're covered with trees and brush and everything, you just walk right past it in most cases, because you'd walk around this big hill, you don't want to walk over it, and you wouldn't have any idea what's there. But as it started to come out of the jungle, you could see all the beautiful work that went into this, the creation of this center. And there were 7 pyramids on the Lubantun, and the tallest one, it was said that if you climbed to the top of it, you could see all the way to the ocean. And so Anna and a few of the Mayan kids were always told never to go up there. It was dangerous. But she knew that at high noon, everybody took a nap. So as they were taking their siesta, her and a few of the kids snuck to the top because they wanted to see all the way to the ocean, which they said they could see. And so while they were up there, the cloud cover was covering the sky pretty much. And then all of a sudden it moved and the sun broke through. And on top of the pyramid, there was rocks that had moved, and the light went through the rocks, and she saw a big light inside. And then she ran down, told her father she was in big trouble. But the next day he figured there must be something there. So he started to open it up and it started to collapse. And so then they started one stone at a time, taking them down. And they finally got a hole big enough for a small person. And Anna, being young and thin, she was chosen, and they tied a rope around her and they lowered into this pyramid. The pyramid hadn't been open for 1,000 years, and kind of sounds like Indiana Jones, but she was going down into the pyramid she felt around and found something. She put it in her shirt, and when they pulled her up and opened the shirt, the Mayas started kissing the ground, and it's like their God had returned. And when that happened, took Mitchell-Hedges by such a strong emotion that he presented it to the high priest. And the high priest took it, and they put it in an altar that they built with fires burning around it 24 hours a day. And all the natives would be coming out of the jungle from who knows where, because they're ones that Anna and all the crew had never seen before, but they were all there to pay respects to the skull, because it was like their God had returned. And it was like it was a connection to the higher planes, and that's what they were feeling that so strong. So they had it for till 1927, and when they had to leave and close up the expedition, the high priest presented it back to Mitchell-Hedges for safekeeping, and that was in 1927, and he had it till he passed away in 1959, which then it went to his adopted daughter Anna, the one that found it, and that was where her big adventure started. Because when you're around the skull, it's if people that are around me pretty well know, it's pretty well nonstop. There's always something. But yeah, there's a lot of history there, and the belief is that these skulls, because the legend is there's 13 skulls, and they have been made by various masters back at a time before Atlantis, and they took these skulls to different parts of the world and they buried them. And at the end, and they're in sacred spots for the energy. Right now, today, there's still a number of them are still buried. And so that's kind of what we do now. And there's some interesting stories that go along with it. Now, the story I just told you as how it was found is the story that was told me by Anna Mitchell-Hedges. And, going along, I've talked to several of the Mayas whose grandparents were there. And a lot of the story is collaborated with that. But, who's to say, because it's the most mysterious artifact in the world, and the fact nobody knows who made it or how it was made. If you look, there's many, many things written. Oh, it was this, it was that, it was this. But when it really comes down to scientific fact, nobody knows who made it or how it was made or where it came from or how old it is, because it's made against the grain, which is impossible. It has lenses and prisms built inside the crystal, and that would take like zero gravity to make a crystal with these precise 9-degree turns, etc., and inside of it. And that, if they can do it today, but they have to do it at the space lab, is where they grow crystal. But as far as being in the Earth with all the gravity, it's impossible. So it's made out of piezoelectric quartz. It's the kind of quartz they make computer chips out of. And when last tested, it has element 77, which is iridium, is very much a part of the skull. So yeah, it's quite interesting. But what it is mainly is how you feel it. So as I go around and work with people, and it's really neat on this new media of Zoom, because people can come into the energy and enjoy it too. So it's quite a new age, but it's opened up for a lot of possibility, because the skull is here to help humanity at a time when we need this, go into this higher consciousness. And it works with this universal love, the power that creating human beings have. Some people are the creators, they are the humans, means God, man, and we're here on the planet evolving and experiencing. But it's a time as we go from the Christ consciousness into the pure consciousness. Purity consciousness is where, like the crystal is so clear, we take back our power. And with our power back, we can create an age of higher consciousness, a place for our families, our friends, and ourselves, and the world to have universal love, peace, happiness, joy, and be able to see for our families building a world where there's good food, good education, connection with the planet and the earth in balance, all these positive things, but it's all up to us as the creator beings to bring this through. So it's a really exciting time, and I'm very, very happy to be here with you, because what I do is as this job I took on, which I didn't really realize when I took it on, but I'm learning more all the time, that it's be able to share this gift with humanity. So, you know, if you hear like the Lord of the Rings and you got this ring and you have to hide it away, but with the skull, it's here to give all you and all of us and share this love, because it kind of affects your pineal gland, which is crystalline structure, and set a vibration that we can share this love with everyone. So it's like taking a stone and throwing it in the pond. All these ripples go out, and it's a powerful force of love. And there's so many people as I go around that the knowledge, when it comes through, it's coming out all over the world. And what I'm saying, said over here, we're all on that channel right now. So it's pretty cool, really cool.
How amazing. Wow. So how did you become the caretaker of the skull?
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, the skull cannot be sold. It can only be gifted. And let's see here. Sorry about that. I think, did I get you? Oh, I got it. Am I back? Okay. Okay. Yeah. What was the question? Give it to me again.
How did you become the caretaker of the skull?
So yeah, the skull can only be gifted, and it chooses the caretaker. It doesn't just happen, you know. And that's what at the beginning I didn't really understand it, but I see it more and more now. And where it affected me, I was in the service down in Panama back in the late 60s. And I heard about this gentleman that was a world explorer, adventurer, that came to this little island where I'd go to scuba dive off the coast of Panama. And then while I was there, I met with the lady that owned the hotel there, and they had a restaurant where you sit out on the beach. And after a full day, and then she'd tell us stories. She's very English, and she was an older lady, and she was told of me of Mitchell-Hedges coming there with Anna and the crew, and they'd be from fishing, they'd be parked in the bay and all the stuff that he'd come in, and it really impressed her with just being him. And that, you know, I love adventure. So when I heard his adventures, it stirred my heart. And that was the first connection I had to Mitchell-Hedges. And then I saw a picture of the skull, and the skull impacted me in a major, major way. And I always thought about it, but I never at that time got to see it for a number of years. Probably almost 10 years later, I was in Chicago going through a course in crystal, and some lady said, "Oh, I was just up to see Anna," and she gave me the name. And I said, okay. I took the name, and I was very excited, but I was nervous. But I called out there, and she answered, and it was like she knew me from forever, and invited me up to see the skull. So that was the start. And that was before 80. It was like 1979. And with that, I was able to, we became really good friends, and there was just that connection right from the beginning. And so in the years later, I would go up there and take her when she had to do lectures and stuff, and I'd drive her there and everything. And then she moved down to Indiana for 3 years in the 90s. Then she moved back to England, bought a house. No, it's first Canada, bought a house, sold the house, moved to England, bought a house, sold that house, moved back to England or to Canada, bought another house. And at that time, she was really sick. And it was like 1997, 98. And I told her, well, you know what? Come to Indiana. I'll take care of you, and we'll have some adventure. Because when you're around her, there's always something going on. So she sold everything and moved all her stuff to Indiana.
Wow.
And then that's where it started, where she started the training even more on how to take care of the skull and what to do. And so when she passed in 2007, she passed it to me to carry on her will and what she expected, her and her father. And at first, when I did these talks and stuff, I could always feel her and her father behind me kind of watching me, you know, look on my right there. And I felt like they're ready to give me a whack if I didn't do a good job. They've been working hard. And they're taking it a lot easier on me, and they're that we're doing pretty good with this, sending this love out. So, but now, yeah, like I say, I've learned a lot, and learned a lot right from the beginning, because right after I got the skull in 2008, I got a call to go to Australia. And so when I got there and arrived, there was some Aborigines waiting for me who told me that they had already seen me coming 4 years ago before anybody knew about it. And so what it was, they wanted me to take the skull to a sacred spot. And it was a place where they called it a sun line had been messed up between a old caldera, old volcano, all the way through the sea, all the way to Machu Picchu. It had been broken for hundreds of years. So they had me sit the skull on the ground, and they did some kind of energy work. And then just in a little bit, they said, okay, thank you. And I picked up the skull and left. But in that, I learned the importance of energy and how the skull works. So it does three things exceptionally well. It does a lot more, but the main things are, it works really good one-on-one when we're working with a person, because it mirrors their inner self, and it brings out all their gifts and abilities that have been latent. A lot of the ones that we carry, because of living in a 3D world where you have all this stuff that tries to take away your gifts and abilities. You know, somebody makes fun of you. Oh, you can see ghosts or something like that. And so, oh, you're 5 years old and everybody's laughing at you. You hide that away. But then when you get older, you still have it hidden away. So it's time to bring out your different God-given gifts. God gave those gifts to you. It's time, and the world needs those gifts, because it all fits together to help the world. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're coming out with our potentials, and we're finding the joy. And so it does that real good. And it also, I've learned how it works on the energy lines. That's why I've been taking it all over the world and working with indigenous elders. And we've done some interesting healing of the planet. And that's pretty exciting to me, because I'm always trying to send out that love and light in the world. So I think I'm talking too long and taking all your questions away, but I'm answering some.
Don't worry. But this is so interesting. So when we now, in a moment, when we're going to meditate with it, is it possible that the skull can help everyone here to activate their gifts? Okay.
Yeah, what it is, what it is with the skull. If you take a door, here's the door, and you push on it, don't open. Then the next little kid comes up and he turns the handle and pulls it towards him, and it opens like nothing. So when you're working with a skull, if you're sitting there saying, oh, I want this, I want that, it's probably going to back up on you. But if you just open your heart,
okay,
and then allow whatever comes in, you'll find it works pretty good.
Oh, wow.
So I could tell you an interesting story about the skull and Indiana Jones, if you want to hear it real quick.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, in 1979, Carol Wilson Davis, the psychic who did The Skull Speaks, was in Toronto, where she lived, and she got a call from a gentleman that was working up there, and he was all interested in the skull and F.A. Mitchell-Hedges and Anna Mitchell-Hedges. So she started telling him the story and everything, and then he wanted to meet Anna. So they called over to Anna, and she was leaving for England the next day and couldn't really talk. And so, but he got all the information, and that was in 1979. In 1984, he came out with a movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And in the movie, when they came down and took that golden skull off of the altar, it was supposed to be a crystal skull, but they did not touch crystal skulls until Anna passed in 2007. That's when they came out with Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. And they made the skull look a little bit funny because the lawyers have kind of told them not to make it look exactly like the skull, which could have got them in big trouble. But they talked about the Mitchell-Hedges skull at least 4 or 5 times in the movie. So that's kind of interesting. So I always say F.A. Mitchell-Hedges, no, really, it's Anna Mitchell-Hedges. She was pretty much Indiana Jones along with him. So sometimes I say Indiana Jones was a woman. But and then recently, in the last year and a half, I was going through Mitchell-Hedges' letters, and I found this letter that was written to him from the head of Navy intelligence, and it was kind of a coded letter that didn't make much sense. And then you look at the bottom, and you know how they type, the person that typed it has to put his initials, and the initials were of Ian Fleming, and so because Ian Fleming worked in the London office for British intelligence, and Mitchell-Hedges was working in Central America, so a lot of the stories that he got was along those lines. So now I say Mitchell-Hedges was Indiana Jones and James Bond, and those are 2 people I like a lot. Those are 2 movie characters I like a lot.
Oh,
But you got to have fun in life, and you got to have adventure, and it's
absolutely.
it's
I love it. I love adventure.
yeah, it's time for us to wake up and bring forth our power, and that are realizing that it's love that can make a difference. Because if somebody's attacking you and you attack them back, you're dealing in the negative. And as spiritual beings here on earth to help the world, and we're at this time, just like it was in Atlantis, where the good people and the bad people, and the good people are important, but the bad people are too, because it pushes us up into this higher consciousness. And so as we work on not looking back at the bad stuff, but staying in balance and looking about what we want in life and what we want for ourselves, our family, our friends, and our world, creating that, and in a good thing, we can raise the consciousness. And I talk to people all over the world, and that is coming out really strong. People over here about coming together in love, coming together in love. And I feel it's like the 100th monkey. Did you ever hear of that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the 100th monkey, and that, you know, there was that island where they had these monkeys, and one of the monkeys started washing his food before he ate it, and pretty soon another, until there was 100. And after the 100th one, all the monkeys on the planet started doing that too. So it's like, if we go into this higher consciousness and we go as a spiritual family, as we are, and we push our hearts and our minds to that universal love, we can raise the whole consciousness of the planet. So that's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Very exciting.
And we're at that point right now. So
we are. We're making planetary history right now. It's amazing.
We are doing that, but we're getting lots of help. We're getting help from the other side, and that's another thing, is working with the skull that I've found so important, is to be able to connect with these entities that work with us, our guides, the angels, the archangels, that they're with us, the galactics are working with us, but they cannot be in the physical, but they can use us to help bring the channeled energy through. But the only way you can get their help is if you ask for it, because they'll watch you every day walk into the same wall and say, "Oh, I bet that hurt," until the point you say, "Would you please help?" And then all of a sudden the door goes away and you walk through it. So, but it's a fun thing too, because we're learning. So
it is. So can I ask you the next question?
Oh yeah, I think there's a question I missed. What was that?
Yeah, are your martial arts skill important to keep it safe?
Oh, let's see. You know, martial arts is, when you start in martial arts, it's a real physical thing. You're punching, you're kicking, very, very physical. But as you go into it for a longer time, it becomes more mental and less physical, and more mental and physical. So 100% physical when you start, maybe only 95% as you advance in it. So the martial arts is important because it is a part of my past, and what we're doing now, it's so important, is to be ourselves. Okay. And a lot of times we live lives, and the whole life we're doing something that, oh, I hate to get up in the morning and do it, but I got to do it. And until the point you realize that as creative beings, you can make your life and be that who you really are. And as you bring that out, certain people will fall away from you and certain people will come to you. The ones that come to you are the ones you should have around you because they're there to help you. And the other ones are really just kind of there for one reason or another. So coming into that understanding is making the difference. Yeah. And martial arts with it, I use the martial arts because it's my past lives, and I use it because it's with the mind, the heart, and the soul. And it's just a way of life with me. And I guess if you could see it, I have the warrior spirit. But it's more than that, much more than that, because you have the different entities that are definitely working with it too.
Okay, thank you. And do you perceive the energies of the skull masculine or feminine?
Okay, that's
Both.
so much really a good
Both.
question. Yeah, that's a good question because all the people, she is this and he is this. But what it is, it's a mirror of our inner self. Okay, and it's neither female or male, but when you're with it and you connect with it, it connects with you. So with a female energy connecting with it, it's a female. With a male energy, it's a male. So it's really because we are more than our physical bodies. We are spiritual beings. And so it's connecting on, the skull is multi-dimensional. It's not just a physical thing sitting here. It works in all the planes. That's where a lot of people, even before we had this thing today, were getting feelings of the skull, like visiting them and stuff, because it does that. It's multi-dimensional, but it's here and to share in the love. So that's what I try to do.
Okay, so that's why you refer to it as he, because I noticed.
Just because
as he.
But I can say she too. It's just,
you can say she too.
Yeah, it's not, to me, it's not important. It's an energy, and it's a machine that was given to us by the ancients because it's here to have these certain jobs. They say all the knowledge of the universe is stored inside the skull here, and it would take us coming to a level of higher understanding to be able to have the technology, or it's not always technology, because in other civilizations we've developed in the past, it was done with mind power. Yeah. And mind power and crystals went together. But now, living in a world of technology, we have to get to the point where it's stored in light frequency inside the skull and be able to decode that. So, some people wonder, why is it look like a skull? Why would it be that? But if you really look at it, the skull is something that is loved very much or feared. And it's something that humanity will protect and take care of, so it'll pass through the generations.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. And do you talk to it like you would with a companion? Do you take it everywhere you go?
Yeah, well, it connects with me quite strongly, and it's more and so all the time. So we communicate with each other, and that's why I just got back from a month out west, because we were out there at a time that it was an energy time to be out there to help in sharing this energy. So I worked at some interesting sites in different places and with people that work with frequency and sound, light and frequency, that that really is quite interesting. So yeah.
Okay. And do you know why it has dolphins carved?
Okay, it has two dolphins. There's one in this cheekbone. There's the head, the tail, and the fin. And there's the head, the tail, and the fin. There's one on this side, and there's one on this side. And it's the double dolphins. And you know what? If you look at Lemuria, when they talk about Lemuria and they have things, that you'll see a crystal ball sitting on a stand with two dolphins. And that's representing Lemuria. But what it is, it's going back in soul memory. They're remembering the crystal skull. So that's quite interesting. If you look at the back of the skull, it's like a human brain, two halves of a human brain, if you catch it right. And if you look into the eyes of the skull, it's looking just like you're looking into a crystalline world, a world of that mirrors right into yourself and into your heart.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there you go. You felt that, didn't you? I felt it. It's, I've been working with the skull more and more now. And when it is now, when you feel something, I pick it up real strong. I feel this, there's a love thing. Put your arms out wide, put your arms out wide, real wide. Now watch, real slow, start to come towards the skull and tell me if you feel a shift. Slow, feel the shift? Then just keep going right through it. Keep going, keep going. And there, now feel it going into your heart. Like, okay. And just bring it, hold your hands down here, hold it right here, down, right where the skull would be. And now with your mind, right here, your third eye, I want you to think about someone or something that you love very much. And I want you to see it right in your third eye. And now with joy and love, bring it down into your heart. Your heart, this heart space is big and wide, and fill it up with that love. And now with your mind, just send it through your arms right into the skull. Send it right now, there. And as soon as you do, you'll feel it coming right back at you like a big wave from your head to your toes, filling you every cell of your body with that light and love.
Wow. It's amazing.
Oh, there. And you feel the love, don't you?
Absolutely. I feel full of love.
I feel a lot of people, what it is it's like they have remembering of the past. And so they go way back towards their DNA, before time even, and they have that connection with something with the skull. And so when they meet it, boy, it's really a strong connection. So as I bring it around and I see 100 people, every person gets something different. Nobody gets the same. So it's pretty amazing. And it's my gift that is to share this love at this time. And then you take it and you share it, and it makes a difference in the world. Yeah.
So shall we now meditate with the skull? Can we?
When you're ready. Yep.
I'm ready. Everyone ready?
Okay, well, you have to get yourself in a comfortable position. And then just start taking some slow, deep breaths. Breathe in all that love and light. And as you breathe out, just feel all the stress leaving your body. Then as we start the meditation, we ask to be joined by all the masters, the teachers, the guides, the angels, the archangels, the galactic warriors of light, all those beings for positive, loving energies that want to join us in this meditation to come into the group now. And the skull is one of the 13 skulls, and no matter where they're at, they would connect together. And as that, I'm going to connect all 13 of the skulls with us now. So as we sit here, I say connecting, and they will connect now. You can see the energy going out and back, out and back, out and back, until everyone is connected to the center right now, like a wheel. Now, as you have your mind in your third eye, and you feel that love and light coming into your third eye and your heart, and realizing that we're all one under God. Now, as you looking up into the heavens, we're going to connecting with the Creator and with the Creator's love and light, and we bring it down into the skull, into your third eye, into your crown chakra, through your body, into the earth. And as we send it deep in the earth, wherever we are, we're connecting together in the center of the earth, in the heart of the mother. And as we do, just feel that mother's love. Oh, it surrounds us all. And you can just feel it so strong that as it comes up, back up, feel the love of the father and mother coming together. And as a group, feel a light bringing us up higher into the sky, onto the sky. As we're able to look down and see the whole world with the power that's flowing through all this. Let the energy coming out through your palm of your hands are going to send that energy around the earth. Send it around the earth. So that you see this diamond light going around the earth. And now, as God's gift to the earth of love and light, you take that light that shines through your palms of your hands, you can aim it and guide it anywhere. So as you see the hurt, the sadness, the missing of love, take it anywhere you feel needs to go, any part of the world that you see needs help. Send that love and light now. Go there, send the light, send the love. Okay, let's start coming back now, coming back on the count of 5. 1, just feel the energy flowing back into your body. 2, just let it flow through your body, out your fingertips and toes as you're coming up. 3, just feel and bathe in that beautiful love and light. 4, you're almost back. And now at 5, you can come back now whenever you're ready. Come back when you're ready. That's love. And I thank all the entities that have been here with us and guiding us with this meditation. I thank all of us, and I ask the energy between the other 12 skulls to open up now. And much love and light. God's love to all of you. Oh, there is a big smile from the skull. You feel that big smile? You're right there. Yeah.
This has been absolutely amazing. And my heart is just bursting with joy and love and gratitude. I'm just so grateful that I was able to experience this.
And share it too. That's the big part. We get to share it and send out that love. Yeah, that's neat.
Yes,
yep.
I was sending it to all the continents.
Oh, yeah.
That was the easiest way to cover the whole of the world.
Yeah.
Included animals, minerals, nature.
Yeah, we're coming to the point that we're understanding that we are all one and how important that is.
Absolutely.
There's one of the different shamans has said that they had a dream with the skull and there were 4 hands on it. There was a white one, a black one, a red one, and a yellow. So it's like all the races coming together in this time. Because because in our hearts we are one. So there's people think, oh, the negative in the world, these people, oh, this, your neighbor did this, but it really, you have to realize that everything that's you don't like in someone else is usually something that's in ourselves at some level. So we just have to work out of that universal love, our most powerful gift right there.
I didn't know what to come back from that. It was just bliss. It was, and the time passed so quickly. It felt like a few seconds.
Well, you can the skull is like, once you meet it, you'll never forget it. And it does.
Oh, I won't.
It's multi-dimensional. So it comes and visits a lot of people. So just enjoy. Yep.
So let's have a look at the chat. So people are, someone said before we started whether it's possible to hold it up to see how big it is.
I don't think that's necessary.
It's not necessary. Okay. Then
it's 11 pounds, 7 ounces. It's 11 pounds, 7 ounces. Yeah.
Magna is sharing. The colors make me so emotional for some reason, like my heart center is expanding, maybe preparing to receive. Someone else agrees. There are comments about the light shining through it. I noticed that as well at some point.
Yeah, it changes all the time, and that's what's so neat. It's the energy coming through it. And when people work with it, their energy goes into it. So if you take a picture, it changes, so that's what's so cool.
it looks like a lot of light is shining from the skull, tingling all over, almost cried. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of thank yous. Felt recognition, joy in my heart, and my third eye was pulsing. Initially, my third eye was not pulsing, but it was later. Towards the end, it started pulsing. And I also felt that the skull has done something for me. And I think it's what I said before. Wasn't usually before I do an event, I always feel a bit nervous, anxious. And it has been my wish for quite some time that I would lose this. So this has not happened. And I got a sense that maybe it's now gone completely, that the skull somehow made me lose
you know what?
this.
If you push and say, "Oh, I want this,"
I didn't. Yeah, I
if you
didn't.
just open then it comes to you, and it knows it. I find it knows exactly what you need, so you don't have to do anything. Just allow.
I didn't, because I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
I just at some point realized this is what seems to have happened.
Too, isn't it fun?
Very much. It is.
Mm.
What else? Okay. Lots of thank yous, gratitude. So powerful, beautiful, love and gratitude. The energy is still buzzing. I think this energy is going to buzz for quite some time.
Just take it, because we all need to share it with the people around, and it's so neat. Yeah.
Yes. Someone is asking whether you could say something else about the dolphins.
Sure, but I want to say before I forget, what I'm doing right now, we're doing the quest of the crystal skulls, and it's taking me all over this country, because at this time I'm not able to go out of the country with the skull, and so but I'm going to all these different sacred spots and energy centers, and working with the indigenous elders, etc. And it's been quite a trip. But the real thing is, we work with different very high caliber of psychic and spiritual healers and guides, and we're working on finding all of the 12 skulls. And that's one of the things we want to do, is we want to travel to these special places, like the one in Guatemala, the one in Ireland, the one in Hawaii, the one in Ohio, possibly. These different skulls that have been placed in sacred spots around the earth. And these are energy spots where the energy comes together real strong, is where they were. And we want to bring them out. The skulls want to come out now, because it's a time for them to do, because each one has a different gift to give humanity. So when we get them all out, we can really see a change and a difference is what we want. But it's to connect with them. They're multidimensional, and they've always been able to connect no matter wherever they're at. And that's how they were used, because when these masters created them, they went to different parts of the planet, and they were able to tap in and communicate with each other all the time. So that's why when we do our meditation, that's one of the things I like to do, is tap into that energy and be able to send out the love of all the skulls together. Could you feel when they were connecting? Because there's an energy goes out.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's pretty neat. And they pour that light through your crown chakra and through your body. And it's not all life forms that are important. Even the birds, the animals, all different things, even the insects are all connected. And as we come in balance to that and see the importance of it, and our importance as we come together, and this is really neat. I see that animals seem to be raising in consciousness lately. You're seeing them do pretty amazing things, and sometimes you think, boy, that animal over there, he's smarter than humans. Probably a lot to it. And in the dolphins, as you talk about the dolphins, one of the most ancient of creatures that have been on the earth, and they have, we see them as like animals of the sea, but what they really are, these ancient beings that are connected to the creator and to these different energies so strong that they are here and balancing the earth to keep the energy in safe levels to help all of us. And they're really communicating more now as we become more spiritual beings and open up to this stuff at a higher level. So at one time, maybe there was just a small number of people living on the planet, but the number is growing and growing, and people are waking up that never had any idea of anything more than, watching TV and a beer. Now they're starting to see that they're more than their physical body, and it's really exciting. And it's important as light workers that we are there to help these people at the time they're looking for answers, because they're, this is all new and it's coming out, and we want to give them good truths to help them at that time. So
okay, thank you. So let's have a look at more messages. Thank you so much. It was activating my light language, and I was encouraged to speak aloud as if I was having a dialogue with the skull. Third eye activation was happening as well. It was really like with an old friend. Thank you, Magna, for this.
Yeah, I was just saying that's a connection with old souls that have this, going way deep in their DNA. And so when they meet the skull, it's like the skull never forgot them. He never forgets. You change lives, you change bodies. He never forgets you. And when you connect with him, wherever you're at, and you are working with him here, he remembers you. And that's what you're feeling. A lot of you feel that like an old friend. And it's a friendship that is a peaceful friendship, because you forget about that great love that comes from your inner heart and who and what you really are, connecting to the creator. And that's going on at that level. It's really powerful.
Wow. And Stacy is saying the experience took her into the heart of Lemuria, and her heart was expanded. Melanie
So beautiful.
says, yeah, connecting with my skull and the light is passing to me. Oh, Lowell. Hello, Lowell. Hi to you. Hot waves of energy from Lou. Share such a gift from the bottom of my heart. Deep gratitude. Trish, yes, such a gift for the earth and for us. Alcy Ko, so grateful and touched. Hot waves of energy floating through me around the world. Thank you. Energies and buzzing at the third eye. Back of my neck. Something happened. Fun. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you for all you do and what you do. Yeah.
Trish, can we do anything to support the etheric work you are doing with the skulls? Is Trish is asking. Can we do anything to support the etheric work you are doing with the skulls?
Well, you know that as you connect to the skull, you're connected to it. And what we're doing together as light workers and the family of light, who we're coming together with our spiritual relatives. These are the ones we incarnated with that are here. And our spiritual relatives are there that help you and build you. Sometimes there are relatives we come into life with, not always, but a lot of times they're giving us a lot of lessons. And those lessons sometimes hold us back from our true possibility and our full power. But when you work with people of like minds coming together, that is a real gift for all. So as you become more of yourself, connecting to yourself, and you're raising the people around you. And so we're all in that, and we're all in that together. So what you can do to help is just take that love and share it, because that's a more help than you can imagine at this time in the world. We're definitely at that point. We need it.
Thank you. So there's so many messages now. I'm looking for questions. Rona is asking, how does the jaw move?
How does it say again?
How does the jaw move?
Move.
The jaw.
It moves. It's just sits on it, and the jaw and the skull sits on top of it. And it's just like how does your jaw move? It's exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think it has this movable jaw?
Okay, well, when they did the tests, the molines on the top and the bottom are exactly the same. So they're cut perfectly from the bottom. And so how that happened, they couldn't do it today. How would they do it? So nobody knows. So there's so many things about the skull that make it impossible and shouldn't be here. But that's what's so interesting, because it's opening people to understand that we are much, much older than we ever thought or were taught and believe. Going back, major races, at least 4, and probably more, of levels where we reach this high level we're at now or higher, and then went away and then had to start over again. And that's why I feel it's so important now that we come into this, that we don't fight against negativity, but we stay in a balanced point and create the world we want and the world we want for not only ourselves and our family and our friends, but for the whole world. And we have the power. And as it didn't work in the past, it can work now, because we've advanced spiritually, and there's high numbers of people that are coming into this consciousness of universal love, joy, because we have to have joy. That's what it's all about, and happiness. And it's just a matter of attitude, and with all the negative that's happening in the world, if you look at that as a creator being, you're making that happen. We don't want that. So if you have a choice, you want good things or bad things in your life, what do you want? And everybody will say, oh, I want good things. But then you have to control your mind and make good things. So that's what it's all about, with the skull being the shape of a human skull. Yes.
Absolutely true. Next question. Is it possible that we can connect and do the work with you, Bill? Alessandra is asking, where you go and when we could connect and do this planetary work to assist humanity?
Yeah, I usually do a meditation twice a month, new moon and full moon. And I'm kind of in a state right now where I'm making a few changes, and I'm kind of coming into myself on things. So that changes will be happening shortly. And, I'll put something on the web somehow and get to you, but that will be coming out, because I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So
okay, great.
it's important that we do come together. And if we did have a Zoom room meditation at a new moon and a full moon, would you like to be a part of it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
We want to, because we want the people to come together and just, like we did today, sending out love to the world, so that's pretty cool. Very necessary. Yep. Okay. Well, I'll let you know.
Please.
You can, share that out. That would be the best one.
I will. Absolutely.
Cool.
Let me
Very
know.
neat. Yeah.
Okay, let's see whether I find more questions. Cecilia says she was sending love and hope to young people and to young soldiers in war, having to go to war, even when they know it's not right. And also mothers seeing their sons go to war and not coming back.
Yeah, well, we have to realize, as human beings living here, they're the people that are benefiting from this. Oh, I need a charger.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting my charge running out of charge. But the people that benefit from this are the ones that are making money off of it. And every war we've been in the last probably 200 years, it's here we got to do this to save the country. We're being moved around because somebody's making money. And in my opinion, I think we need to really look at that, because you're not doing it for your country, or that you're doing it for the people that are getting richer. And that's kind of, to me, that's is something that's not quite in our spiritual importance right now. Yeah. 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 There you go. Yeah. And but let's say lots of prayers for it, for sure. But yeah, just a matter of looking at life a little bit deeper. You know, we're being told things, and okay, we got to do this and that. But take time in life to look, because there's a lot of truths out there, but you can't always go by what somebody's telling you, if they're always telling you what they want and they want you to do. So it's an interesting time, but that's the part of our growth right now. That's a part of our spiritual advancement as coming into spiritual beings that we are.
Mm-hmm. And Gabi says she's been ill for 4 months, and before she knew about this event tonight, she already felt the 13th skull gathering around her. Okay, many people want to join the sessions you mentioned before. And Magna is asking, whether you also offer one-to-one sessions?
You see, I'm probably going to try to do that in the future. Yeah. So I'll contact you, and then if someone's interested, if you could just put that on your news thing.
I'll be interested.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, one-on-ones work really good because it really connects. Even like you've been feeling it over the Zoom too.
Oh, so yes.
Pretty neat how it works. Yeah.
Okay, I think I've looked through all the messages now. So are there any more questions? Anyone has any other question? If so, oh, Magna says there will be a long queue if you offer one-to-one sessions.
Yeah, I just got back. I was out in California, and I've been working on this movie they've been working on called The Quest of the Crystal Skulls, but it's taken us some really interesting places. And let's see, we're filming a couple days ago in Los Angeles at on the penthouse for, it used to be Johnny Depp's penthouse. It's his old, he sold it, but it's where he was there at some very few years ago. But the thing is so we see that. Then we were out by the Internetron, working by this call it the Big Rock, the largest rock, and it's made out of granite and crystal they say in the world, and it's out there, and it's where the gentleman that got the information and how to build the Integratron. So we did a sound and crystal skull energy thing right there, and send out a lot of energy to the world. We did work by the sea and some super ley lines that connected the earth. And so, and it was meeting with a lot of different people and touching people's hearts, which I like that job. It's a good job. You know, each one of them, no one, everybody says, oh, you're doing this, but this is a gift that was given to me to do the best I can. But each one of us have these special gifts, and it's a matter of taking the time and seeing, what do we love, and what is our past, and what's our future, and how we can help humanity and ourselves and find happiness. Because there's no better happiness than doing something that affects and helps the world. So, and we all have it in it, because as spiritual workers, as we work together, it's like we're making this beautiful picture, and each one of us are a piece of that picture. And if you don't become your full self, the piece doesn't fit. And so as we become a family of these creative light workers, we fit and make this picture that is a beautiful thing for all mankind. So be yourself, find that self. It's the best thing you can do.
So when will this movie be ready? When will this film be ready?
They're in pre-production. And so hopefully by next spring, it should be out. And it's, I'll send you a trailer of it and you can see. Yeah, and it's really, the guys are really doing a really good job. It's really exciting. We've done work at Mount Shasta with the Skull Squad, and we had some quite interesting experiences out there. So it's been interesting for sure.
So were you were always a film producer? Was that your main job?
Oh, my main job is not a film producer for sure. No, I'm not a
not
producer.
Now, maybe, but
I'm a guy that they take pictures of a lot right now because they're doing a story on this. But it's just that what I found, I retired in 2007 and have been doing this work, and I found that there's the more you do, the more, I keep busier now than ever, but I do what I love. So it's like in 2007, they wanted me to go down to Belize, down where the skull was found. And I told them the story of Mitchell-Hedges. Yeah. And I told them about this 18-inch tall crystal structure that Mitchell-Hedges left down there in 1932. And he was supposed to go back in 38 and get it. Because of the war, he didn't. And after the war, it didn't work out. So he never made it out there. In 2001, Anna calls the psychic Carol Davis and says, pack your bags, dear. We're going to Honduras and Belize. And she said, okay. And so she didn't have to tell me twice. I was ready to go. I was getting the tickets. So we went down there because she wanted to see some of these areas where this stuff was left. And so then when they did the movie in 2008, NBC, and it was it was Secrets of the Crystal Skull or whatever. We went down there and looked for the crystal boy that was buried on the island in the caves off of Rotan in this little island called Helena. And so we were going through the caves and everything. And it turned out it was a good show. You can probably still see it on YouTube, but
you found
it? On YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
You found the crystal boy?
We did not find it. You know, if it's like this, I would not really find the crystal boy with people that didn't have the right energy or attitude. Because if I found it, it'd be a showpiece, and it's like the skull. You know, you have to have a respect for it. And you have to have that love of wanting to work with it, you know. But if you just want to show it off as a showpiece, and that's what it would probably have been. So I didn't give them all the little secrets. Is that right? But I'm ready to go now. Is anybody ready to go on an adventure with me?
I'm ready.
Oh, and guess what else they found down there? Want me to tell you what else they found?
Tell me.
When Mitchell-Hedges was down there in the 30s. They were on a little island, and every time there's a coconut laying on the ground, Mitchell-Hedges would say, "Get your shovels, girls." So Sammy and the secretary would have to go out and dig holes and bury the coconut because he wanted it for future people to have the coconuts, and so he would always make it do it. So as they were digging away looking for this spot to put the coconut, they keep hitting hard rocks, and they finally found a space, and they hit something hard, and they dug around it, and they pulled it out, and it was a chest, and it was full of pirate gold. Yeah. Because you know why? It was a place where Morgan the pirate had his fortifications, and it's called Port Royal. And on this, so all around there, you know, they would capture these Spanish boats and take the gold. And he would always give to his men the gold. So if you were working on the boat, what he would do, here's a chest for you, here's a chest for you. But what would they do with it? They take it to the bank? They couldn't take it to the bank. They're pirates, you know? So what do pirates do? They bury their gold.
Buried it.
Yeah. So he was able to he found a chest of gold. And then you know what happened? He got the gold fever. Yeah.
Oh.
And kind of burned the island down and found 3 more chests of gold.
Oh my
Tell
God.
me, you know, you think, oh, would I do that? Yeah, if you were down there and you found a chest of gold, you'd probably looking for some more too. So yeah, so that was kind of interesting. So yeah, there's a lot of stories that have been told me that it keeps you on your toes for sure.
There's a few more questions, so we just answer them. And
Okay.
then I think our time is up. So Joy is asking, can we work with the skull by connecting in our meditations, by calling in the energies?
I do that every time, and I hopefully you felt it. Yes.
Is one of the skulls in England? Christine would like to know.
Let's see. There's, they talk about the British skull, and the thing is, I had let's see, it was 1998, right before all this stuff came out about skulls. The various crystal skulls that were around at their time were invited to the British Museum for testing, and because Anna had the tooth chipped when it was tested last time, she didn't want it tested, and so when they were just trying to get her there, they didn't really care about the other ones, because when she didn't show up, they canceled it and sent everybody home and didn't do any testing.
Oh wow!
So that's how it started. But and so I think that the British Museum skull is a very old skull. I think it's part of the 13, and I think the reason I feel that, I would like to see some independent testing of it to really make my decision. But yeah, you can't have the fox checking the chicken coop, you gotta have independent. That's just my opinion.
Did you go and see it?
I was in England a number of times. I never had the chance to see it. No,
I went.
But they say there's an energy around it that you can feel. And go ahead.
I went to see it, and I'll tell you my experience. So I walked in. I literally just wanted to go and see this skull, and that's it. So I walked into the museum, into the room where it was, and there were some people in front of it. So I was waiting for them to move away. And then I was thinking to myself, okay, so now I'm going to try really hard to connect with this skull. Mm-hmm. And as I approached the box, the energy from that skull just transported me. It was like really amazing. And it showed me things. I can't remember now, but it was what remained in my memory is how powerful the energy it was. And I was immediately transported. So I didn't have to do anything. Yeah. The skull was literally pulling me in. So that
Tell
was,
me this,
was
that before you started working with crystal skulls and stuff, or was that after?
Oh, I've been interested in crystal skulls for quite a long time. No, I was already interested.
I just wondered if it raised you in the level. They do that. It's like a advancement.
Yeah. So anyone in England, do go and visit it if you can.
Oh yeah, I will someday. Yeah. At one of the places where there's a skull buried, it's in the Hawaiian Islands, and it's buried deep inside the mountain. You have to get there through a volcanic tube that goes in, but it's been, because of an eruption and stuff, it's kind of messed it up, but it's still safe in the mountain. Guess what color that skull is?
Blue.
Nope.
No.
It's a red, like a red ruby skull. Red.
Oh, it's red ruby. Wow,
yeah.
Ruby here.
There you go. It's right by your heart too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep. That skull has a name. You know what the name it is?
No.
Now, it was buried thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. So it goes into the legends of the Hawaiian religion, which is a very special, very powerful religion, that they have special gifts that, you know, you go to the island, you better be in the right place at the right time because you can get some real problems. But they have that knowledge, and what the name of it is Pele. The
Pele, like the goddess.
That's where it came from.
Ah.
Everything, and you know, that's handed down, there's always a reason, but they lose the reason sometime. It's kind of
Wow.
funny, isn't it?
It is. So Pele is like Pele.
Pele, yeah.
Pele.
Like
Wow.
the goddess, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's amazing.
it sounds like an adventure. I'm ready. Are
Yes.
you ready for adventure?
I'd love to.
So
Pele,
much love to everybody, and thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your heart, because that's what it's all about. You are the power to make a difference. Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Bill, for joining us, sharing your wisdom and sharing this treasure which you are guarding. And I've been really, really grateful. I'm very grateful to having been the host for this event. And, you know, anything you send me, any links, anything you do, please.
Yeah, sure, we'll do that.
And I will pass it on to people. And I would also like to tell people about an event which I've got coming up, which in a way is connected to this because it's called Raise Your Love Quotient. So it's going to be a 1 hour event with the aim to increase the level of love that we carry in our heart.
Ooh.
And Wesley has just shared the link in the chat, and I will also send it out to everyone. And I also would like to invite you to join the Facebook group, my Warrior of Light community Facebook group. And you can even, you can even share what your biggest takeaway from this event was in the Facebook group. Everyone who's not here in person, because there will be people watching the recording after this. So if you feel like it, please share what your greatest feedback was. And so we can stop the recording here.